Okay, let's start with Kavanaugh, John.
Sure.
I do think that people on both sides look at Washington. It just doesn't seem to work. At first, you're thinking we're going to have this hearing on Monday. Now there isn't a hearing, and they're battling over timing in the FBI. No wonder people's opinion of Congress in general is so low.
Yeah, no wonder, because there are other things on the agenda, like what's best for my party than what's best for the country.
Yep.
Rushing through this hearing or imposing Monday without consulting either side to see if they're available, is awfully tacky on the part of Chuck Grassley and the Republicans. And it's just an arbitrary date. Why? So that they can get through the committee vote, so that they can put Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court before the Supreme Court session starts on October 4th, and then there won't be a bunch of 4-4 ties.
Yeah.
They'll have their 5-4. Thing is that these are serious charges. They require a hearing, and I think at this point in time, just objectively speaking, I do think that the Republicans have been painted into a corner.
Yeah, this is a real no-win. I mean, because if the hearing happens, you have staunch, old Republican senators questioning a woman. It just is not a recipe. I mean, they got to be not wanting to walk into that room.
This is the year of the woman. Again, you have a record number of women not only running but also winning, and most importantly, voting. And this is just purely objectively, in terms of the politics and the optics of the situation, made to order to bring out a women vote and the Obama coalition. The last thing that Republicans need to do is appear to be manipulating and appear to be bullying a woman. She has no entourage, no agenda. I mean, what's in it for her?
Yeah.
One asks to make this situation a public situation and to humiliate herself. And so, in case there are people who strongly disagree with what I just said regarding Judge Kavanaugh, we are not talking about boorish behavior. We are not talking about boys will be boys.
Right.
We're talking about an alleged assault, criminal action, and we need to be able to send a message to our boys, our little guys. No, you can't do this, and then 40 years later become a member of the Supreme Court of the United States.
What is the provability, though? This is the problem, is that, in fairness, John, you can accuse, and is the accusation now, at this point in our society, is the accusation enough to basically convict when it comes to public opinion?
That is the milieu in which we live.
Yeah.
The pendulum will swing back, but we are still in the midst of the Me Too movement. You had the issue of Asia Argento, Anthony Bourdain's girlfriend, and the embarrassing revelation she's been accused of a sexual assault, and apparently not given the benefit of the doubt. That is the time in which we live, and the dust hasn't settled. But the Republicans are in a very difficult position on this one.
Well, and they certainly are. And let's not forget the fact of how many men have gone down in the last year and a half to sexual impropriety. The numbers are staggering. So there is some basis to this climate that we're currently in the midst of. I'd love to switch gears, and I think it's a given. The New York Post story, kind of feel like it was leaked. Of course, Claudia has ties to Fred Dicker, but we don't have to debate whether or not this is really dirty. But my question for you is, if Brindisi's family is now fair game, and even I think in the story it references the fact that how he was brought up, that's relevant. Okay, if that's fair game, then because Claudia oftentimes gets to throw the bombs and they never get thrown back. People just say she's inappropriate. She shouldn't have done that. But let's talk about fair game. Does that make her family fair game? Because there's a lot of claims that she makes that people really contest. Does that make it all fair game?
It makes it game.
Yeah.
I don't know what
I think that's
fair is anymore.
That's a very, wow, that
stick your,
well
you
said.
Stick your neck out and you can get it cut off. What fair suggests that this is the way it is and this is the way it has to be.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, if one wants to bring up these things, you better be sure that your house is made of brick and not of glass.
Very insightful, John. We appreciate it as always. Today was a little special, though. I don't know why. I appreciate your time.
Anytime.
All right. John Zogby, Zogby Strategies.